Welcome back to Brunswick Zone Carolines, the 36th Denny's PBA Tour event held in New Jersey in the 15th year at this bowling center. Rob Stone, Randy Peterson, Carolyn Doran Ballard with you as we get set for our final. But first, Randy, our Geico Championship recap.
You know, I saved 15% of my car insurance by switching to Geico.
Wise move.
Match number 1, Norm Duke defeated Doug Kemp by the score of 234 to 160. A five-bagger in the middle of the match took down Doug Kemp. And in match number 2, Norm Duke defeated Chris Lowshetter by the score of 267 to 245. Lowshetter opened the door in the 10th. Duke slammed it shut.
Duke 7 strikes in match number 1. Up that total to 9 strikes in the second match. And we are set for our title match. Duke will bat leadoff from Claremont, Florida. Turned 44 this week. That's something new from him today.
A little wide of target. You know, Norm is being real nice to it at the bottom of the swing, a term that Chris Barnes likes to use, nice to it, not doing a whole lot with his hand to get that ball to push through the front part of the lane, and that one was just a little wide of target.
2-4-5.
And Norm, one of the few players that doesn't switch to a spare ball, a plastic spare ball to shoot his spares. He does it with his hand. He uses the same ball that he throws at strikes. Keeps his hand right behind the bowling ball to make sure that it rolls end over end, and there's not a lot of change of direction. He likes the feel of staying with that same ball that he uses on a strike ball.
There is Major Mika, the big Finn, 6'4". Born and raised in Finland, lives in Michigan now. Through the nose.
Ball speed.
We showed you the loft of Robert Smith earlier in the show from earlier in the season. And the big Finn with some loft of his own.
And that loft works real well on tough oil patterns. It clears the front part of the lane. It doesn't hook early. His ball doesn't read the front part. And this was a style that was developed many years ago, bowling on dry oil patterns in Europe.
So both pick up their spares as we take a look at today's Motel 6 matchup. This is the third televised meeting between Mika and Duke. All of them have been for titles. Both times, the match decided by 3 pins. Norm Duke victorious in both of those outings over Koivuniemi.
It's close.
Mika playing the deep inside line. He said he played fourth arrow and left of fourth arrow all week long, never ventured right of the middle arrow.
You look at the dome of Mika, and a little lighter than we're used to. Part of a bet, and payback was this morning. We'll tell you about that in a second. Mika and Chris Barnes are roommates, and they were set to face off against one another in Columbus, Ohio, and they basically said, loser leaves town blonde and with a shorter haircut. So payback was this morning. In the hotel room, there's Barnes slicking back Mika and doing the dye job. Not a good job, and I'm not sure he deserved a tip.
You know, it's illegal in a lot of states, just so you know.
Duke gets back on the strike train.
Rack, please, on lane 7.
You know, my years on the tour, my roommates and I, we did a lot of crazy things, but that wasn't one of them.
I mean, that is not a Player of the Year worthy dye job by Chris Barnes. I don't know what color that is or what they're going for or what. I mean, let me tell you, Mika's wife right now, Lena, is just shaking her head.
Ah, dang it.
Boy, he wanted that one, too, to get out to an early lead. Pretty good shot here. Norm is eking a little bit into the middle part of the lane. Still a lot further right than Mika. And he wanted that one.
So strike, or rather spare, strike, spare for Duke here in the final.
I think Chris Barnes brought up a great point about the touch that Norm Duke has at the bottom of the swing and be able to really finesse that bowling ball through the front part of the lane and play that much further right than all the other guys.
Again, we met with our 4 bowlers late last night, and the 2 that are left standing are the 2 that look like they're about ready to fall down on the floor and go to sleep in our meeting room. Duke and Mika looked beat up last night, but here they are bowling for the U.S. Open title.
All right, the nerves are gone. He got a couple of shots out of the way, and there's his first strike of the match. Big wingspan on Mika. Helps him to create that loft. This guy is tough as nails. Loves the tough, brutal, grind-out conditions.
We asked him to describe those lanes. One word repeated 3 times. Tough, tough, tough.
Look back, look back.
Gets the hook, gets the strike. And gets the lead. It's at 9. Mika won this tournament as the top seed in 2001. Can he do it again 7 years later? The conclusion of the Denny's U.S. Open when we return.